That is really good. What's up, yo? Big Cat 305 here. Today we're doing an update on a Taco Bell double steak grilled cheese burrito. That's right, our second update on this. Did one a couple years ago, and now I'm doing another one that's not only gonna taste good, but it's gonna be good for you. Everybody, let's get cooking. All right, this is where the magic happens. We've got our Mission Carb Balance Flour Tortilla wraps, keto friendly. We've got our Kraft fat-free cheddar cheese, Mexican taco seasoning, hint of sea salt, Old El Paso creamy salsa verde, tricolor tortilla strips. Our steak, we've got Angus sirloin tips sliced thin, cauliflower rice, which is great for keto, low carbs. Our whipped chipotle cream cheese, can't wait to try that. And our Daisy light sour cream. Can't tell the difference. Those are the ingredients. All right, the prep is super easy. You want to freeze these steaks for about 45 minutes. They're not rock hard, but they're solid enough to be able to cut through, no problem. And you're just going to slice them in one direction, and then we're going to turn them 90 degrees and then slice in the other direction and basically cube them up. Crisscross applesauce here. I'd say about an inch, inch and a half apart. Speed it up here for you. I chose these steaks because they have about a third of the amount of fat than the strip steaks and more protein, actually. 3 steaks sliced up real quick. So seasoning salt, pepper, garlic. This is going to help tenderize a little bit. And then our Mexican food truck seasoning. I can't wait to see how that comes out. And then some avocado oil just to use as a binder. We're going to mix this up with our hands. And this is a good opportunity to break them apart because they are still a little bit frozen. So we want to break each piece apart to make sure we get seasoning all over both sides of the meat. And there you go. Looks great. And you want to let that marinate for at least a half an hour in the fridge. And then nuke our cauliflower rice. Super easy. Prep is done. Let's head out to the griddle. Okay, we want to preheat that griddle to about 400, 425. Put down some avocado oil. Spread it out nice and even. Go fast for you here. And then we're going to put our meat down. Hey, it's me again. Don't forget, at the end of this video, I'm going to compare the nutritional value of the new updated recipe versus the old recipe. All right, here you just want to break up that steak so it gets cooked nice and evenly on the griddle surface. And then once you get that done, it doesn't take long to cook, and then we're going to flip it over to the other side. The goal here is just to sear it on both sides. And then you're going to always find those stragglers that didn't get turned over. Take your time. This is where it's fun. And just one by one, turn them over so you don't have any really bright red stuff. And that's it. Literally after 3 or 4 minutes, this steak is cooked. And we take it off the grill and put it on standby for the future. There it is. Looks great. Of course, we want to clean up our griddle afterwards because we're going to cook those burritos on here, and we do not want them looking all nasty. And that's it. Cut the power and let that griddle cool down so we can build our burritos. All right, before I start, pro tip. I had a real hard time getting these tortillas apart out of the package, so I had to nuke the entire package for 30 seconds. Helped big time. All right, chipotle, whipped cream cheese. I got the whipped because it's easier to spread. Cannot wait to try it. Cauliflower rice, a couple scoops of that. Spread it out. It's good filler here. Low carbs. And then tortilla strips. I did not pick out the reds this time. Sorry. But they tasted just as good. Nice crunch factor there. And then our steak. I really loaded up this double steak burrito. The steak looks great. I did give it a quick taste test. Tastes good too. It is not New York strip. I'll tell you that much right now. But it tastes like steak. And it's still got tons of protein. Next, our Old El Paso creamy salsa verde. I love salsa verde, so I can't wait to taste that. And then our Daisy light sour cream. And then finally, our fat-free cheddar shredded cheese. This stuff is great for melting. Big heaps of that on there. And then we're going to wrap this up. I overloaded it as usual. Wrapping burritos is not that hard. They're very forgiving, the shells. So just do your best and get there. Let's roll this fat boy over and get it on the griddle. All right, griddle is prepped again. We got it about 350 degrees. And I like to put the burritos down, folded side down. Yes, I made a second one for Mrs. Big Cat, absolutely. I heat them folded side down first because it keeps them in place better. So I flip them back over to the other side now and move them out of the way. And here's where I'm going to prep the center for the grilled cheese. So a little bit of avocado oil, spread it out there. And then we're going to put some cheese down right where we're going to put those burritos. My first time using this cheese for this application here, so we'll see how it works. So just like I did last time on the E-Series, spread them out and then put the burritos right down on top of that griddle cheese and let it heat up for not too long. You can see it's melted there. Now I'm trying to get the spatula underneath, and it is not easy. That cheese hardened up quick. So the first one I was able to turn over, but it does not look anything like the original recipe. The second one, I am having a real hard time getting underneath that thing. I roll this sucker over and boom, disaster. The cheese hardened up, then stuck together, and I had to get rid of it, and it was hot. Yikes. So you don't want to give up on this. I decided to take off the other one and start over. I cleaned a little spot there, put some more avocado oil, spread that out, put the rest of the cheese that I had left, which is not a lot, but it's enough, and then started again. This time I put the burrito down on top of the cheese. I did not let it sit quite as long, and I was able to get underneath that, flip it over, and make it salvageable, and there you go. That's what we ended up with. Let's go check it out. Whoo-wee! All right. You know what they say, never judge a book by its cover. Well, I'm going to live up to that today because had a little hiccup there at the end, but we're going to see what it's like on the inside. Let me give you a quick close-up. All right, here we go. So here's what we got. Outside, as you can see, that cheese did not do too great on the outside as far as the grilling aspect. Inside, looks pretty good. I mean, that looks very, very good actually. So we are going to give it a shot right now because I cannot wait. I'm just as curious as you are to see how this tastes. So here we go. Cheers. That is really good. Oh my goodness. The flavors are just going nuts inside. That steak is good. All right, that tastes great. We'll talk about it more inside, but definitely pass the taste test. Let's go check out the stats. All right, how about that for an updated recipe? Let me tell you, got a little hairy there with the cheese on the outside. I would say this cheese is good for melting on the inside, but griddling on the outside, like that cheese skirt, ain't gonna happen with this cheese, just letting you know. Take that into consideration, but the inside tasted great. Everything from the steak, that lean steak with that Mexican food truck seasoning tasted excellent. Along with that cauliflower rice, that was really good. And that whipped chipotle cream cheese was awesome. Nice kick to that. That creamy salsa verde, those tortilla strips, and that light sour cream all brought it together, wrapped up in that burrito, nice and melted on the inside. It was really, really good. 2 thumbs up for that. I really like this recipe. Now, let's see how good it is for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So the first highlight is the saturated fat. We took it from 25 grams of saturated fat down to 10. That's 15 less or 60% less saturated fat. That is awesome. Protein still standing super strong at 70. And then the fiber, we went from 2 grams of fiber to up to 30 grams of fiber, which is great. 28 more grams of fiber, 1,400% more grams. So that high fiber bounces off those carbs, brings it down to a net carbs of 15, along with that protein of 70. I would say this is a great keto recipe. And then the sodium, we went from 2,177 milligrams of sodium down to 1,202. Almost 1,000 less or 45% less milligrams of sodium, which is great. Let me tell you, this recipe was a lot of fun. Sorry, Taco Bell. This tasted just as good, if not better, and it's much better for you. So everybody, I would call this an updated recipe. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and we'll keep on cooking. Big Cat out.